Good afternoon, year ones. Welcome to your optional computing lesson. If you're joining us for the first time, then if you want to do this lesson, you need to make sure that you have the Scratch Junior app. You can download it to an iPad or desktop or laptop, and I'll post the link to download it underneath this video for any of you who haven't already done that, because I know we've obviously got a year one bubble at home this week, and don't want you to miss out on this lesson. As I've said to everybody before, it's an optional lesson. That means you don't have to do it just because we know that not everyone will be able to access the app. If you can, then lucky you, because it's very fun. Okay, so let's get started. Our big question today in computing is, how do I debug a program? Debug, that might be a new word to us. Shall we find out what it means? So debug means to identify and remove errors. So identifying errors and removing them from our Scratch Junior program. So our learning objective is to debug a program, as you might have guessed. And to be able to do that, we've got our success criteria. So first, you need to create your program, which is your sequence of instructions for your sprite. And again, if you're new to this, the sprite is the character that you are controlling in Scratch Junior. Number two, you need to check your program for any mistakes by testing it, seeing what happens. Then number three, identify the error. So identify the instruction that causes the mistake. Four, you need to remove that error. And then five, test the program again to see if you have debugged it successfully. All right, so before we get going, a little bit of keyboard practice. I want you to just see if on your keyboard, or if you can't see a keyboard, the keyboard that's on the screen, have a go at writing your name. So find the letters of your name. And today, I think we'll stretch it a little bit more, and we'll stretch our learning, and we'll have a go at writing not just your first name, but your surname as well. Okay, so pause here to have a go at that. All right, let's have a go at debugging a program then. So I'll just unshare my screen. Okay, here we go. So I've got a few new instructions that I'd like to show you today, because I've been having a little bit of a play around. So if we have a look at, so we're looking at the mouse at the moment because we can see our mouse down here. And this instruction here, this instruction block, can be found in the yellow section. And you might be able to guess already what that means. A green flag, it means go. Okay, so if we put this at the start of a sequence of instructions, and it means that whenever we press the green flag up here or the green flag down here, it will just start the sprites moving. Okay, so quite simple, just that green flag begins the movements. Okay, and then I've also discovered in this purple section, we've got a little speech bubble. So we can make the character say something. Okay, so I have, because it's at the end of the story of the Gruffalo, and I'm making I'm doing the part where the Gruffalo gets scared because he thinks that the mouse is going to eat him, because the mouse says, "My favourite food is Gruffalo crumble." So I've typed that in the box, so you can, when you drag it down, you can click on it, and just like with the numbers for the other instructions, you can change the text. Okay, so that's another little movement that you might want to play around with. So I'm going to put those together. And obviously last week we talked about this instruction, which means to repeat. So it repeats the whole sequence from the beginning, which just means that the mouse will keep doing these three things, well, these two things. So as soon as we get to the end, we'll go back to the beginning again. The mouse will say, "My favourite food is Gruffalo crumble," and then the mouse will move forward 10 and then repeat again. Just keep going and going. So I've put those movement blocks together because we know we learned last week as well that we do that to make our sequence continue. And then for the Gruffalo, so we've got our movement blocks that we've already explored. And then last week we talked about this block here. Can you remember what this block means? It's in the orange section. There it is. And it just means wait. So the Gruffalo will wait and then repeats the instruction again. So the new one I found, another new one that I found, is this block here, which again obviously can be found in the yellow section. And this one means that when the other sprite bumps in to this sprite, so when the mouse bumps into the Gruffalo, then the Gruffalo's sequence of instructions will begin. So the Gruffalo will stay still until the mouse bumps into him from behind, and then he will start to follow these instructions. Okay, so you might like to pause here and have a go yourself with your creation. See if you can use those new blocks. You don't have to. It's just kind of little extras that you might enjoy playing around with. Okay, so I'm going to pop that together. Now, as I said, we are learning to debug today. So I've done step one. I've created my sequence. If I just stop sharing, we can go back and see what I need to do next. So let's go back. So create your program. Yes, we've done that. Now next, number two, I've got to check the program for any mistakes. So let's have a go. So starting with the mouse, as I said, remember that green flag, that means go, and that'll start the mouse off. Let's see what happens. Are there any mistakes? Favorite food is Gruffalo crumble. There we go. So we set the Gruffalo off. Oh, I'm not quite sure. The Gruffalo floats in midair. Looks like the mouse is okay. The mouse is running along the ground and doing what I want the mouse to do. But I don't think I want the Gruffalo going up and floating in the air, because that's not very true to the story, is it? So there is my first mistake. So I'm going to press this button here, stop button. Okay, so I've stopped it. Now I need to identify what the error is. So I know there's nothing wrong with the mouse, so I'm going to leave the mouse as it is. I'm going to go back onto the Gruffalo sprite, and I can see, so I've made him jump, which is fine. He can jump because the mouse has scared him when he said my favourite food is Gruffalo crumble. And then it goes forward. Then I've put that he goes up 10. Now that is not what I want him to do. I don't want him to go up 10 blocks. So I need to remove this error. So I'm pulling it all apart. I'm going to drop that one back up here so it disappears. And I'm going to put the sequence of instructions back together again. Put the program back together. Okay, and now I need to test it again to see if I've successfully debugged the program. So let's press go. Here we go. It's going to make the Gruffalo is going to jump in a minute. Oh, there he goes. I'm running away, checking behind him, see if the mouse is coming. And it keeps going. Right. Lovely. So I've successfully debugged my program. So now I'd like you to have a go at making your sequence of instructions, identifying any errors, any mistakes, taking them out, and then retesting it again. Okay, so enjoy doing that today. And then next week, we're going to be looking at using our own voices, recording our own voices to make the characters speak. All right, see you later.